you see me now?
Ah. You came ready.
Yeah, I said I came ready to encourage our people to be coming for this program, right? So,
yes.
You know.
This your dress even shows that you came prepared. Now I'm feeling underdressed.
I actually went to my account to do this so that we can encourage people to be part of this program. You know, you have been doing a very fantastic job, right? So I want more level to see the dressing, just to come formally to this program, make it encouraging. You understand? That's why I did this.
Absolutely. This is good. Thank you very much. I really love it. Let me clap for you before you even start at all. You deserve a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so let's go over the rules again. Welcome, Caris Events. Thank you very much for joining us today. You said we could call you by your first name, even though, you know, because this Caris Events will not show when we put it out there. So your name that you registered with, if you don't mind, you could just go through that so that, you know, we start from there.
Okay. My name is Damilola. So I'm an Ijebu man, born and bred.
Nice.
From the parents. Well, born and bred in Lagos. Ibutemeta, to be precise. Ibutemeta West, you know, those streets. Ibutemeta East, sorry, you know, those street East. So whoever lives there currently, we don't live there anymore. We moved many years ago before my dad passed. So then my grandfather, like I mentioned, had been trading in Lagos in the early 1900s. My father was born there, and he's been up and down. And we built our house. He built his house in K2 after I moved from Butemeta.
Oh, nice. So you are a co-proper. Echo photo. Mix.
Hey,
all right.
You can see that.
Nice.
Very well. Yeah.
Awesome. Glad to have you here. So I want to go through the rules again, just to make sure that we are all on the same page. So there are 4 rounds, right? Each, of course, the purpose of this is to get to the truth of certain matters in our history. So we're discussing Nigerian history, Nigerian politics, Yoruba history, Yoruba culture. There are 4 rounds in this game. Every round has 5 questions, you know, except the final round, which has 2. Each of the rounds has questions, like I said, and every question will earn you a certain amount of money. Round 1 is called the warm-up, and I will pose 5 multiple choice questions, each one testing your knowledge of Nigerian history and Yoruba history and culture. Every correct answer in the first round will earn you 1,000 naira each. And then we'll move to the second round, where I'll make 5 statements, and then all you have to do is to tell us if it's truth or tale, if each of those statements is truth or tale. And for that, you win 2,000 naira for every question. So if you provide all 5 correct answers in the first round, you have 5,000 naira. If you provide all 5 correct answers in the second round, you have 10,000 naira. Then that means you have 15,000 naira at the end of the second round. The third round is called the hidden page, and here you will, if you every correct answer you provide will fetch you 3,000 naira, and so multiplied by 5, that's 15,000 naira. Added to the others, you have 30k. With the 30,000 naira, you go to round 4, which is the verdict. We have only 2 questions. If you get the 2 questions correctly, we'll multiply your winnings, so you have 60,000 naira, and then you have plenty of money. And then if you get only 1 question correctly, then you go with your money that you've won so far. But if you get it wrong, then we'll divide whatever it is that you have earned. So you can either multiply, you know, go with what you have as it is, or it gets divided in 2. So those are the basic rules of the game. So are you ready to play?
Yes, I'm good to go.
But again, final round is the round 4. The 4th round is the verdict. You have 2 questions. If you get 2 of the questions correctly, if you provide 2 correct answers, you multiply everything you've earned by 2. If you provide 1 correct answer, you can go with everything you've earned without it being multiplied. If you provide 2 wrong answers, you divide your earnings get divided by 2. So you only go with half of what you've earned so far. So please do well. All right, let's get into it.
Hello.
Awesome. Ami, round 1. This is the warm-up. In Yoruba cosmology, which ancient city is believed to be the cradle of creation and the first settlement of humankind? A. Oyo, B. Ife, C. Ijebu, D. Abeokuta.
Ile-Ife.
Ife. All right, that's a correct answer.
But Oni used to say something. Okay. Like Oni watched his one of the documentaries. I think in the early days of when he just got on the throne. He was saying that you don't call it Ile-Ife. You call it Ile-Ife.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to put that in. So that's what I'm just trying to see.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were about to give us lecture, but even that is correct. You're right. You're right.
No.
You're right. All right, let's go to the second question. So you got the first. You provide the first, the right answer to the first question when we asked in Yoruba cosmology, which ancient city is believed to be the cradle of creation and the first settlement of humankind? You said Ile-Ife or Ile-Ife. You're very correct. It is the historical heart. Ile-Ife is Ile-Ife or Ife is the historical heart of the Yoruba civilization. In oral tradition, it's said to be where Olodumare sent Odudua to begin the human world, symbolized by a chain from heaven. It later became a center of advanced art, religion, and governance. The famous Ife bronze heads are evidence of its sophisticated culture and craftsmanship. Let's go to the second question now. Which Yoruba queen of Lagos was renowned for her business empire and political influence in the 19th century? A. Efunsetan Aniwura, B. Moremi Ajasoro, C. Madam Tinubu, D. Lishabi.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Which Yoruba queen of Lagos was renowned for her business empire and political influence in the 19th century? A. Efunsetan Aniwura, B. Moremi Ajasoro, C. Madam Tinubu, D. Lishabi.
Madam Tinubu.
Madam Tinubu is the correct answer. Madam Efori Tinubu was a fearless entrepreneur and political leader who traded in tobacco, salt, and textiles, using her wealth to influence Lagos politics. All right, we'll move to the third question. Who became Nigeria's first military head of state after the 1966 coup? A. Yakubu Gowon, B. Aguiyi Ironsi, C. Murtala Mohammed, D. Olusegun Obasanjo.
Aguiyi Ironsi.
Aguiyi Ironsi is the correct answer. Aguiyi Ironsi assumed power after the coup that overthrew the First Republic. Question number 4. Which Yoruba town is famously called the City of Brown Roofs? A. Ibadan, A. Ibadan, B. Ṣeun, C. Osogbo, D. Oyo.
Ibadan.
You are correct. Yes. Ibadan is the nickname comes from its wide expanse of traditional mud brick houses topped with rusty brown corrugated roofs, creating a unique skyline. By the way, I brought this question intentionally. The brown roof is nothing to be ashamed of. I just want to be proud of. It also shows how far people have been developing cities while they were using corrugated sheets in Ibadan to roof their houses. Many people were using thatch and leaves. So
yeah.
By the way, Ibadan was the military capital of Yoruba during the 19th century and remains one of Africa's largest indigenous cities. The final question in this round. Who moved the motion for Nigeria's independence in 1953? A. Nnamdi Azikiwe, B. Obafemi Awolowo, C. Anthony Naoro, D. Tafawa Balewa.
Anthony Nahoro.
Are you sure? Who moved the motion for Nigeria's independence in 1953? Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, Anthony Naoro, and D. Tafawa Balewa. Is that your final answer?
Anthony Naoro. Anthony Naoro.
You're actually correct. It's Anthony Naoro. You're right. All right. So you provided 5 correct answers in the first round. So you have 5,000 naira for round one. Let's move on to round two. So round two is truth or tale. I'll make 5 statements. Then you just tell us if it's the truth or just a tale. Here's the first question, or the first statement. Truth or tale? Oduduwa arrived in Ile-Ife from Mecca. Truth or tale?
Tale.
You're correct. It's an idea from the colonial era interpretations that try to link African civilizations to foreign origins. Oduduwa is autochthonous, is Yoruba, is right there from Ile-Ife.
Yeah.
So yes. Second question, truth or tale? The 1914 amalgamation joined Nigeria for economic convenience, not unity. Truth or tale?
Economic convenience, not unity.
The 1914 amalgamation joined Nigeria for economic convenience, not unity. Truth or tale?
Truth. Truth.
Do you mind explaining?
Okay. The way I'm gonna put it is that when Lord Lugard was the how can I put it? The administrator. Let me use the word administrator. So we have in the southern part of the country, there's so much economic boom. I will put it that way, in economic activity. In the northern part of the country, there's not so much economic boom. But then, how can I say it now? Lugard wanted a situation whereby the two protectorates can be won to ensure that one part of the colony is also enjoying the how can I put it now? It's also enjoying the
Okay. pressure ti wà bí.
pressure ti wà. So apá kan tó wà ní òkè ọya lọ́hùn àti àwọn táwọn nsàlẹ̀ ní the other side, a ní much of the mineral resources. Lókè lọ́hùn wọn ní much of that. So ó fẹ́ ṣe ní ó jẹ́ pé táwọn méjì bá papọ̀ àwọn actually wà tó máa benefit from the other side, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right.
That's the way I see it.
You're right. So at the time, the North had budget deficits. They made money, but they had more things to spend money on. For instance, they had the West African Frontier Force. You know, they had the hangers on around the different palaces in the North. So much to spend money on. So they had budget deficits in the North, but in the South, there was budget surplus. So and you're correct, it was for convenience. They did that so that they'll be able to. With the South surplus, there was no national consultation or shared cultural intention. It was purely colonial pragmatism. Nigeria became one on paper before it ever became one in spirit. As it doesn't even become one in spirit, to be honest. But thank you very much for that.
To never be. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Nigeria is a country of many nations, and there's nothing wrong with that. We'll go to the third question now. Truth or tale? Efun Ṣeun Aniwura was punished for her cruelty towards slaves.
Efun Ṣeun Aniwura punished for her cruelty towards slaves. Is this where we use our lifeline?
No. Use lifelines in the third round.
Okay. Was for yeah, I would say true.
Actually, the answer is tale. While Efun Ṣeun was a powerful woman in Ibadan, the narrative of her being cruel and executed by Arela Tosha is mostly oral and politically motivated. In reality, she represented economic autonomy and threatened the structure, Arela Tosha's structure in Ibadan, 19th century politics. So it was something they used in order to get to her. To be honest, it was a tale that was used and it worked, but it wasn't because she was doing that. right? But it worked because a lot of people believed it. By the way, if you read the book by edited by Bolanle Awe, Professor Bolanle Awe, the book is called Nigerian Women in Historical Perspective. She mentioned that there. So you have 2 correct answers in this second round, and this is question number 4. Truth or tale? The Ife bronzes were influenced by European art.
That's tale.
That's tale, and you are correct.
I would just say it's the other way around, that we influenced the art for the Europeans because they stole a lot of our stuff, right? And took it away.
Yeah, they did steal. They did steal a lot of our artifacts. That's true. So you're correct that. Yeah. So when Europeans first discovered the Ife bronzes in the early 20th century, they couldn't believe Africans produced such realism. It was in 1910 that what's his name now? Leo Frobenius got to Ife, and when he got there, he called it the lost city of Atlantis because of the things that he saw we did. All right, we did create, like we created without their influence. And the research on carbon dating proved the art predates European contacts by centuries. The bronzes demonstrate Yoruba mastery of metallurgy and aesthetics between the 12th and 15th centuries. Let's go to the final question in this round. Truth or tale? The first coup in Nigeria was ethnically motivated. Truth or tale? The first coup in Nigeria was ethnically motivated.
Okay, I've got in this the way I'll put it, right?
No, truth or tale?
The final answer.
Tell us truth. You can explain if you like, but just say truth or tale first. And whatever you want to say afterwards, that's fine.
Okay, that's tricky. That's why I'm a bit I'm treading the line very carefully here. I would say true, right? I would say true.
Okay, you want to explain, but you want to explain. Do you want to? Okay, say you were going to explain something earlier, so please go on and explain.
Okay. The reason being that if I say tale, according to what the history book has actually said, the history, all the past history books, they have been saying that it was just a revolution, right? That was not ethnically motivated. But if I have to go by the deeper insight, particularly from what I've learned from your platform, you know, I as an individual, as an adult, in my younger days, I've never ever thought that the first ever coup in Nigeria was based on ethnicity. I've always thought that, okay, this thing was based on revolutionary ideologies of these young officers. But if I have to go by all those things that you have explained specifically, right from the time you're flowing your platform, it's very obvious that it was ethically based, right? But a lot of books that have been written have not delved into those actual facts, except for the fact that you are bringing it out to the public for them to have a deeper understanding of the whole thing. But if you have to go by official reasoning, you would say that it's not ethnically based, right? Because all those books that have been there in the open have never mentioned anything ethnically based. So that's why I said I'm going to be a bit conflicted there, but I'll choose truth.
But you chose truth. Okay. If you had chosen tale, you'd have been right.
I will have been right.
If you had chosen tale, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong.
Oh, okay.
You would be wrong if you had chosen tale. You're correct, by the way. Let me clap for you first. Let's clap for you.
Oh, thank you.
You are correct. And here's the point. That is not to say there was no revolutionary element in the first coup. There was a revolutionary element in the first coup, and that's why I always say that someone like Zogu, someone like Adewale Ademoyega, they were revolutionary in nature. The things they said, the things they did, they were passionate. They may have been wrong, but you know, you can be honestly wrong You can be sincerely wrong. They didn't do what they did because of an ethnicity. However, the coup itself was ethnically motivated. And here's the note here. The January 1966 coup, led mostly by Igbo officers, was perceived by others as ethnically skewed, particularly because most of the victims were northern and western leaders. Though the plotters claimed national reform, its ethnic overtones shaped Nigeria's tragic descent into civil war. So regardless of what people say, the actions show that there was ethnic motivation in all that happened. So that is that. So you got that very correctly, and that's wishful. Sorry, but
Thank you.
so far,
because I have my earpiece.
no, you're good.
I hope I'm
You're
not
good. You
screaming.
actually,
Oh,
no, you're not.
alright.
It's actually very good.
Oh.
So first round, you provided 5 correct answers. So that means you had 5,000 naira in the first round. Second round, you provided 4 correct answers. I mean, you have 8,000 naira in the second round. So cumulatively, you have 13,000 naira right now. So we're going to the third round. Now you can use your lifelines. You have 2 lifelines. Ask the Republic or consult the archives. Ask the Republic just means you ask the people, write the Republic in the comment section. They'll tell you what answer they think is best. There are 4 options. And then you could also consult the archives. That means that you're asking me to provide a clue, and I would be glad to do that. So this is round 3. It's the hidden page. Each question fetches you 3,000 naira. There are 5 questions. So going to question 1. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Question 1.
Very ready.
Great. Fantastic. All right, here's the first question in the third round. Which Oyo monarch reigned during the height of the Oyo Empire's expansion in the 18th century? A. Aláàfin Abiodun. B. Aláàfin Ṣàngó. C. Aláàfin Àjàká. D. Aláàfin Onígbógi.
Can you run that question again, please?
Which Oyo monarch reigned during the height of the Oyo Empire's expansion in the 18th century? A. Aláàfin Abiodun. B. Aláàfin Ṣàngó. C. Aláàfin Àjàká. D. Aláàfin Onígbógi.
Okay, can I get a lifeline clue from the host? I have one on my head, but maybe that will tip me towards my final answer.
Okay. This Aláàfin reigned between 1774 and 1789.
Okay.
So the options were Aláàfin Abiodun, Aláàfin Àjàká, Aláàfin Ṣàngó, and Aláàfin Onígbógi. This particular Aláàfin reigned in the 18th century, so it's towards late 18th century, 1774 to 1789.
Okay, I think I'll go with Aláàfin Àjàká.
Is that your final answer? Let me give you one other clue. One other clue. This particular Aláàfin was appointed by Bashorun, that is quite popular in history. Or at least the Bashorun was instrumental in the appointment, in the enthronement of this particular Aláàfin. So I'll take the question. So those are the only. I was supposed to give you one clue. I'm giving you 2. Which Oyo monarch reigned during the height of the Oyo Empire's expansion in the 18th century? Aláàfin Abiodun is A. B. Aláàfin Ṣàngó. C. Aláàfin Àjàká. D. Aláàfin Onígbógi.
I know Bashorun guy is the person you are referring to. That popular Bashorun.
It's possible.
I think I will still stick with my those Aláàfin. You know, it's a long history. It's very confusing. Aláàfin Abiodun, what year was that? To be frank, those years are very. Let me stay with my Àjàká.
All
Let me
right.
just use my Jaka.
Final answer, Ajaka.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay then. There are people in the comment section. Somebody says Alaafin Ajagbo. Ajagbo is not even one of the options.
I wonder what's it.
All right. So here's the question again. Which Oyo monarch reigned? Someone just go and manufacture one option for us. All right.
We always are putting Gogi very fast.
So, which Oyo monarch reigned during the height of the Oyo Empire's expansion in the 18th century? A. Alaafin Abiodun. B. Alaafin Ṣàngó. C. Alaafin Ajaka. And D. Alaafin Onígbògi. You choose Alaafin Ajaka. You realize that Ajaka and Ṣàngó were siblings.
Okay.
They were siblings. And there was, crisis in the early days. After Romeo, then Ṣàngó stepped in. So both of them reigned in the early days of Oyo as a city-state. But you chose Ajaka. But this particular king, I said his enthronement was influenced by Baṣọ̀run Gáà. I said by a prominent or popular Baṣọ̀run, and you were correct to say it was Baṣọ̀run Gáà.
Baṣọ̀run Gáà.
But Baṣọ̀run Gáà could not have influenced the enthronement of Ajaka.
Okay.
When you look at the options there, by the way, this particular person was, during his reign, you could even call that the Oyo's golden age of wealth. They had less wars during his reign. They had more trade and diplomatic relations with different, with their neighbors. They were not so much into wars. By the way, you're right. No, I'm going to answer your question.
I've chosen my answer. That's fine.
By the way, it was during his reign.
It
was after him that Oyo began to decline. Because the military might that Oyo was known for, Oyo had decided to focus more on trade and on diplomacy than on the show of might. And so the answer is actually not Alaafin Ṣàngó, definitely not Alaafin Ajaka, because they were brothers, and not Alaafin Onígbògi.
Alaafin Abiodun.
It's Alaafin Abiodun. He reigned between 1774 and 1789. He ruled during Oyo's golden age of wealth and diplomatic sophistication. He favored commerce and stability over constant war, consolidating the empire's internal unity and extending its influence through trade with the Hausa and Dahomey. The problem was just that after him, everything started changing. But that was Alaafin Abiodun. It was the Oyo monarch who reigned during the height of the Oyo Empire's expansion in the 18th century. Second question in this third round. In which year did Nigeria officially become a republic, ending British monarchical rule? A. 1959, B. 1960, C. 1963, D. 1966.
1963, C.
Is that a final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
Why didn't you choose 1960?
No, that was when we got our French independence. Then it was 1963 that we officially became a republic. Then we moved, then we became a republic.
So the question again is, in which year?
Yeah.
Go on, please.
Yeah, I said in 1960, right? We gained our independence freshly from the colonialists, right? Then 1963, we officially proclaimed a republic. That was when Zig became the, what do you call it now? The ceremonial president.
Okay.
Right? He
Yes.
became our ceremonial president. So we were no longer bearing allegiance to the queen anymore.
So you chose 1963, right? That's your final answer.
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Someone wrote 1959 in the comment section. I think by independence, go 1959.
Oh, you want part? Let me go now.
I think by independence in 1959.
Maybe the person meant to say, okay.
We had an independence. Oh, sorry, we had an election in 1959. I mean, for real, we did have an election in 59. And it's true that we gained independence in 1960. However, although we were independent, we were still in the Commonwealth with the Queen as the head of state, right? And that went on for another 3 years. So you're very correct. It was in 1963 that Nigeria became a republic. And the 1963 constitution replaced the Queen with a Nigerian president, Nnamdi Azikiwe, officially creating the first republic. So if you remember, when we have these sessions in class, when we talk about first republic, I'm always saying that if you want to discuss first republic politics, it's not what happened at independence. It's actually what happened after 63. So first republic started in 63, second republic started in 79. Right? Everything that Papa did.
93.
Third Republic 93, Fourth Republic is 99. We are in the Fourth Republic now in Nigerian history. Okay, everything that Awo did before the First Republic. It was even mostly before independence. All right, so you're very correct. Nigeria became a republic in 1963. So you've provided one correct answer so far. One correct answer. The first question, you didn't provide the right answer, but you got this one correctly. Let's go to the next question, number 3. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. Who was the first Ooni of Ife to travel outside Nigeria officially? Who was the first Ooni of Ife to travel outside Nigeria officially? A. Ooni Aderemi, B. Ooni Sijuade, C. Ooni Olubuse 1, D. Ooni Ademiluyi.
Ooni Aderemi.
You followed
Ooni Aderemi.
You're sure?
I'm very sure of that. From what I've read. Okay. Okay. What I would say, Ooni Aderemi got on the throne in 1930, and from what I've been seeing in history books regarding even the negotiation for independence and all those things that we did that have been going on in the 40s, Aderemi has been in the forefront of people fighting for independence alongside other people such as Funla Ransom Kuti, Olatoro Alagbegi, the Olowofowo, Oba, the Odemo of Ishara, the Oba Akisoya, then
yes,
with the likes of Shefaulo and Azikiwe and other people. So that's what I've seen in history books. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So I've not seen anything that mentioned any Oni apart from him going abroad.
Onisijade has gone abroad now.
No. We are talking about the pioneer, right? You mentioned the pioneer, the first Oni.
Or are you saying that Ooni Aderemi reigned before Onisijade? Is that what you're saying?
Of course.
I'm about to tell you, I put it to you.
Onisijade got there in what year was that? 1980, and he passed on in 2015. Right. Yeah, and his grandfather. Yes. Initially, I thought maybe your question was to ask me who was the first Oni to leave Ile-Ife to go and settle disputes. I would have referred to his grandfather. So, but then when I heard the last the tale of the question,
what's his grandfather's name? What's his grandfather's name?
The grandfather's name. It was Olubishe the first.
First name. No, first name.
Oh, the
his
first name. I can't get it at the top of my. I can't get it right now.
Okay.
We'll
keep it. We'll ask that question some other time.
For the archives, yeah. Maybe by then I will have gone to check my archives.
You're correct, though. You're correct. There was Olubishe. That was in 1903. Was the first person.
Olubishe the first. The one that settled dispute.
Yeah, was first Oni to live. Settled dispute in Lagos between the Elekwe and the Akaregbo of Remo. But today's question is, who was the first Oni of Ife to travel outside Nigeria officially? We had 4 options: Oni Aderemi, Oni Sijuade, Oni Olubushe the first, and Oni Ademiluyi. You're right that Oni Sijuade became Oni in 1980. But the question is, was he the first person to travel outside Nigeria? Because he traveled outside Nigeria a lot. You know, even have images of him in South America, in Cuba, in the UK, in the US, all over the place. You know, traveling and, you know, being our king. It's not Ademiluyi. When Ademiluyi had reigned, he didn't travel outside the country. So it's not Sijuade. You already mentioned Olubushe the first as being the one who settled the dispute between the Elekwe and the Akaregbo. So it's between Aderemi and Ademiluyi. It's not Ademiluyi. You're very correct. It's actually Aderemi. Nyadesoji Aderemi reigned between 1930 and 1980. He was a remarkable leader and statesman. He became the first African governor in the British Commonwealth, governor of Western Region in 1960, and he represented Yoruba royalty in global diplomacy, redefining the role of traditional rulers. Let's go to the next question. Question number 4. Which Nigerian military ruler created the most states during his regime? Which Nigerian military ruler created the most states during his regime? A. Yakubu Gowon, B. Murtala Mohammed, C. Ibrahim Babangida, D. Sani Abacha. Which Nigerian military ruler?
On this one.
Okay. Which Nigerian military ruler created the most states during his regime?
Okay, let me try and eliminate the options. Go on. Can I have time to ruminate while you are timing me?
I'm timing you, but I want you can think about it.
Okay. Go on from 4 regions to 12 states. So that is 4. That is 8 states. Muritala from 12 to 19. That is 7. Babangida from 19 to 32, I believe. 32 states. That is Babangida.
Babangida went
Babangida,
to 30.
yes.
Babangida created 30. Made it 30.
From 19 to 30. Yeah, I was just trying to look at the sequence in progression, how the number increased. So it was Babangida. Because right now we have 36 states, right? So if Gowon has 12 and Muritala had 7, Babangida, let's say Babangida from 19 to 30, that's 11, and Abacha at most maybe he created 4. If you have maybe.
So what's your final answer?
No, Babangida is C. Babangida is my final answer.
So I'm seeing a lot of options in the comment section. That's why I said don't look at the comment section, because they can actually confuse the contestant. Everybody's flexing. someone has been repeating that Gowon created 12 states. Gowon did not create 12 states. There were 4 regions that were existing at the time. So technically, he created 8 states because there was West, Midwest, East, and North by 1967. The government of Murtala Mohammed Olusegun Obasanjo, you're right, they moved it from 12 states to 19. So Gowon had, let's say Gowon added, 8 to 4, making it 12. Murtala Mohammed and Obasanjo moved it to 19. That's 7 additional states. So apparently Gowon created more than Murtala Mohammed. We're left with Ibrahim Babangida and Sani Abacha. Now, you are right that Ibrahim Babangida added a lot of states. Like I said, if you really look at it, Gowon actually created 8. The Western region was split in 2. So you had a Western state, that's present-day Oyo, Osun, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti. And then removed Lagos State in 1967. With IBB went from 19 to 30. He created 11 states. Abacha went from 30 to 36. So if we look at it very well, the question again is, which Nigerian military ruler created the most states during his regime? Yakubu Gowon, 8. Murtala Mohammed, what's the number now? 7 new states. Ibrahim Babangida, 11. Sani Abacha, 6. The answer actually is Babangida, and you're correct. It's Babangida. So I know that we usually say that Yakubu Gowon created 12 states. And technically you are right. But in reality, it's not like there were no states before then. Again, the word state could mean anything. If you read, there's a book, I don't know, I'm already teaching. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the gift, Rhoda. Really appreciate that. If you look at, Thoughts on the Nigerian Constitution by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, when he was talking about the idea of state creation, he made something very clear that I think, I remember now. It doesn't really matter what you call the constituent unit, whether it's region, province, or state. The point is that it was trying to make a case for ethno-linguistic states. And was like, it could be a region, it could be a state, it could be a province, whatever it's called, it's what it is. So essentially what we have right now, you can call it 36 regions, you can also call it 36 states, depending on, who's talking. So the answer to that question actually is Ibrahim Babangida. He created 11 new states added to the 19 that were on ground before he got to become the head of state, or like he called himself, the military president. Final question for this round. Which Nigerian leader handed power to a democratically elected president in 1979? You still have one lifeline, right? And still has the Republic. Which Nigerian leader handed power to a democratically elected president in 1979? A. Yakubu Gowon. B. Olusegun Obasanjo. C. Murtala Mohammed. D. T.Y. Danjuma. Which Nigerian? Fioriki was in no option.
I need to fún respect ni. Even though go shit it, but I feel.
One border.
Àgbàlagbà ni wọ́n.
ẹ̀pọ̀ bàbá náà ẹ kàn sọ pé Àrẹ̀mú ẹ lárúkọ ọmọ bàbá lórí ni. Tọ́pẹ́ respect and
Àlẹ́kájú bàbá lárugẹ ni.
Ẹgbọ́n lárúkọ bàbá ẹ kókó pé wọ́n ní Matthew Àrẹ̀mú Òkìkíolú Olúṣẹ́gun Ọbásanjọ́. You are very correct. General Olusegun Obasanjo successfully transitioned Nigeria from military to civilian rule in 1979, handing power to President Shehu Shagari. It was the first peaceful transfer of power in Nigeria's post-independence history. Here's fun fact. He was the first military leader to transfer power to the civilian government. And it was also the first civilian government in the Fourth Republic that they transferred power to from military. It was the first one that the military administrator transferred power to in 1999. That was in the Fourth Republic. So you're very correct with that. So 5 questions. You got, I think you provided 4 correct answers, right?
Yeah.
Let me check. Make sure you provided 4 correct answers. So the first round you provided 5 correct answers, so you have 5,000 naira from there. The second round you provided 4 correct answers, you had 8,000 naira, making 13,000 naira. And this third round you provided 4 correct answers. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 13 is 25,000 naira. So now you have 25,000 naira guaranteed from all the 3 rounds. Final round 4 is the verdict. In this round, you have 2 questions to answer. If you provide 2 correct answers, you get to multiply your 25,000 naira. So you go with 50,000 naira. If you provide 1 correct answer, you can walk away with your 25,000 naira. If you provide 1 wrong answer, you'll be going home with 12,500 naira. We're going to have to divide that money. I'm sure you are ready for the round. It's a verdict. There are 2 answers. There are no options, by the way, but you have 1 lifeline at the moment. And your lifeline is Ask the Republic. This time, whatever they say, you have to work with it. So 2 questions in this final round. You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Question 1. The 4th round, the verdict. Who was the Yoruba linguist who produced the first Yoruba English dictionary in 1843? It's the verdict.
Yoruba English dictionary.
Don't write anything in the comment section yet unless you're asked, please.
Yoruba linguist. Yoruba English dictionary.
In 1843.
And this one, there are no options, right?
No.
Okay.
Someone said this shouldn't be
I have
difficult.
something on my.
What do you have in your head? You said you have something in your head, right?
I have something in my head. Yeah.
What's that?
Ajayi Crowther.
So it's in your head, but is that the answer you want to provide?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm still thinking about. You're the first Yoruba English dictionary. Okay. Yoruba English dictionary. 1843. Okay, maybe. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. Should I ask for a lifeline? Because I only have 1 left now. Okay, I'll just go with Samuel Ajayi Crowther.
It's actually funny. Someone in the comment section is asking, someone in the Republic is saying, shall we confuse him? Why on earth would you want to confuse him?
rather leave me on, you want to confuse me.
Why would you? Why would you want to confuse him? Oh dear. Oh God.
At least I can see my lifeline for the last question if I'm hooked. So.
But you chose your final answer, right? Ajayi Crowther.
No. I didn't change it. I said Samuel Ajayi.
You've chosen
Crowther.
it. That's okay.
Yeah, I've chosen it. At least that is the person that is coming to my head right now in modern Nigeria of those days.
So the question would be: was Ajayi Crowther a missionary or a linguist?
He was a missionary. He was a missionary. It was known as a missionary, right? It was known as a missionary. But then
let me not do what the person is trying to do in the comment section. It was both.
Yeah, please.
It was both.
Don't confuse me. Yeah, I know what it was a missionary, and at the same time, he was able to do translations, just like when he translated the Yoruba Bible to Igbo. So
yeah, he wrote the Igbo primer. He translated Yoruba English Bible into Yoruba. Wrote the Igbo primer. You could speak many languages: Yoruba, Igbo, Nupe, and yes. But the question is: was it the Yoruba linguist who produced the first one? That's the question. He's a linguist. Now we know that he was a linguist. Was a missionary and a linguist. So now, so we have two more questions here. The first question is that was it the first one, and the other one was that did he do it in 1843? Did he do it in 1843? And let's look at some dates for very quickly. 1857 was when he went to Onitsha, the Niger missions. 1859 was when the first newspaper in Nigeria was published. Ìròyìn
or something like that. Yeah.
1843 would now mean that he had done that 16 years before the publication of the first newspaper.
First newspaper.
So would that be correct? So, was it the first one to produce a Yoruba English dictionary? Yes, it was. Did he do it in 1843? Yes, it did. So the answer is Samuel Ajayi Crowther. He was a freed slave turned bishop and scholar. Crowther was the first African Anglican bishop. His Yoruba English dictionary and Bible translation helped standardize the Yoruba language in print, a cultural revolution in literacy and religion.
That's very good to know.
Yeah. So now at least you can walk away with your 25,000 naira if you want. So now you can't. Your money will not be divided because you've gotten one correct answer. So here's the second question. If you provide the right answer to this question, you get 50,000 naira. That will be 25,000 naira times 2. If you provide the wrong answer, you walk away with your 25,000 naira. If you had provided 2 wrong answers, you would have gone with 12,500 naira. But now you have 25,000 naira. So here's the last question. Which Yoruba city was home to the legendary warrior Kurumi? Which Yoruba city was home to the legendary warrior Kurumi?
That's Kurumi. Which
no answers in the comment section. No answers in the comment section.
Don't answer. I will ask if I need a lifeline. Kurumi. Which Yoruba city? Okay. Can I get a lifeline then?
Yes. 50.
Somebody's giving me a clue already there. Yeah, I've seen a clue there. I saw something with a star. Is that Ijayi?
So let's use.
Somebody said Enugu. That's very good.
I saw the Enugu. I just acted as if I didn't see it. Enugu ati Arekurumi. Let's do it this way, right? Let's have, you can ask the Republic, so you have that one lifeline. So, jokes aside, you guys in the comment section, I see you writing Abakaliki. We are not doing that. So, if you know the answer, please write it in the comment section. And let's help him win.
Let's have the Republic. I saw something with this IJ star YE. I guess that must be Ijayi something. Yeah, Ijayi. Okay, Ijayi. Yeah, Ijayi. Somebody mentioned Ijayi. Adiba Yoruba mentioned Ijayi. Somebody mentioned. Okay, I won't say that one. Ijayi. Okay. Somebody mentioned Ijayi Abeokuta. Okay.
So there are like 4 Abeokutas, about 6 Ijayi.
Abeokuta.
There is 4 Abeokuta, there are about 6 Ijayi. There's 1 Ibadan. I've seen Abakaliki and Enugu, but they don't count.
Where's the Ijayi located? Is it the Ijayi in Abeokuta? I know we have Ijayi in Abeokuta, right?
I can't give you a clue anymore because I already gave you the clue.
Oh.
I already gave you that. You consulted the archives earlier. So I can't give you any more clues.
I will go with Ijayi. Because that Ijayi rang a bell.
So people are saying Ijayi in Abeokuta. Is it Ijayi in Abeokuta? Or Ijayi? Because I'm seeing different things in the comment section.
I'll just go with Ijayi. I won't say whether it's Abeokuta or not. I'll just say Ijayi.
But that rings the bell. If it's, let's say it's the one in Lagos and you don't add Ifako.
But you didn't ask that. You just want to get the
name of the city.
The name of the city. Yeah, and it's Ijayi.
So what should we do with your Republic people writing Ijayi Abeokuta there?
I will ignore that. I will go with Ijayi.
You'll ignore it.
Yeah.
So let me first say something. I think people are confused with the fact that they know there's an Ijayi in Ogun State, but there are actually many Ijayis. There's Ijayi in Lagos, for instance.
Yeah.
Ijayi in Ogun. There's Ijayi in Oyo State. Did Kurumi have something to do with Ijayi? Yes, but was it Ijayi in Abeokuta? Because a lot of people have been writing that in the comment section. Ijayi Abeokuta, Ijayi Abeokuta.
Kurumi.
By the way, we've been saying Are Kurumi. It was at the time the Are Ona Kakanfo, and he had some issues with Nalafi. The question is, which Yoruba city was the home to the legendary warrior Kurumi? Fun fact, the Are usually wouldn't stay in the same city as Kabisi, as Yalafi. Ancestors had cases Ijayi after Idris Haga. It's after Ekotun Igbe.
Okay, we have a lot of keyboard warriors that make the whole thing fun. So sometimes you just have to let go.
So you said Ijayi, but you don't want to add Abeokuta to it, and you were very, very wise not to add Abeokuta to it. You are very, very correct. It is Ijayi.
Yeah. Whether it's not Ijayi in Oyo, in Ogbomoso or Ibadan, that I don't know. I just know it's Ijayi. Immediately somebody typed it in there. I recollected one of your lectures.
So you have by doubling your money, instead of 25,000 naira, you'll be going home with 50,000 naira.
Oh,
thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. We're glad to have you up again today, and I hope you had a great time.
Yeah, I must say I do. I do. I must say that thank you so much for this opportunity. It's a good thing. The reason why I came out for the second time is to ensure that people take these things very seriously. Apart from the fact that you give us history, you give us facts. You don't just refer to some random occasion or random thing that happened somewhere. You go back to the archives and bring out those facts. And that is why you usually have all those people antagonizing you if they don't have any other thing to work with. And that's why I really appreciate that. Then secondly, I dress like this just to let people come around. I just thought that if I should do this, some other person will be encouraged to do that. You understand? And it's a way for us to also project the Yoruba culture. And I'm very grateful for
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
God bless.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad you came up, and this is a way to also push the truth. There are certain things we've talked about today. They are based on, historical facts. We're not making anything up. If it's something you have not heard before, it's most likely because maybe we haven't studied to that point. But everything we're discussing here is based on historical facts, historical truth. And this is Redòmí Republic, where truth reigns. We're discussing history, culture, and politics. But we do all these things understanding the fact that a lot of the times what we have been taught is mostly propaganda, but it's important to actually know what really happened. And we do that by studying and by having conversations like this. I want to thank you very much, Mr. Dami, for coming up. Thank you for being part of today's episode.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Have a lovely, lovely day. And thank you everyone. Sorry, continue, please. You're going to say something.
Yeah, we are hoping to be having more of this.
And thanks to everybody in the comment section that supported all the folks in the Republic writing Enugu for Ijaye Kurumi. God bless you. It's been nice having everybody, work together and make this successful. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening, Caris event. We'd like to have you up as well. Please just go to Linktree /Redòmí Republic and just register.